Hi Rod, thanks for joining Pride TV for our continuing series of player profiles. Unfortunately, Cameron Miller couldn't be here today, so I'm stepping into his shoes. I certainly haven't done the research that Spill would normally do, mate, but I'm happy to be here with you regardless. Roddy, probably the first question I want to ask, and I think people are interested to know, why does a bloke who's played at the top level in England and in Australia decide to commit himself to pre-season and the kind of arduous journey of a season of Intrust Super Cup year on year? What motivates you?
I think it's the thought of giving something back at the moment. Grew up in this regional setting where you don't have much opportunity. There is very little resource or infrastructure. At this stage, it's all about coming back and giving back to community, helping out the small clubs, grassroots of rugby league. And you know, as a professional athlete, that's what you should be trying to do. Give something back to the sport that's given you so much. It's been a huge part of my life, and it will continue to be. Obviously, being a teacher and all, I understand this is an avenue or an outlet for a lot of young people. So the harder I can work to make that happen, the better it is.
That's good to know. Well, you're kind of born and bred on the Tablelands. Obviously, Far North Queensland sits in your heart. When you were coming through the ranks, the Northern Pride didn't exist. How much more difficult do you think it was for someone of your generation to develop as a player compared to what it is now?
Yeah, you know, we've always had a really strong rugby league following here, and unfortunately, everyone's had to go away. If you look at it, you know, the names that have come from not only Cairns or surrounding areas, but from the Cape and Torres Strait, everyone has to have gone past here. Now, there's been a couple of teams in the past, but they never were here as a prominent fixture. It makes the journey and the trip so much harder. You see kids now having to leave because of study or work purpose. They struggle, and we find that they come home and there's not much here for them either. So to be able to have a solid foundation where young people can come through and build their skill set, it's you know, it really does promise that we're in the midst of the future.
Well, in terms of your own journey, like we said, you played Australia, you played in England. What are some of the highlights in your career so far?
Yeah, no, there are probably a few little strange ones. My first game on the Adelaide Cricket Oval, which was amazing. Not many people have played on that ground, especially rugby league. Being pushed over the sideline by David Peachy in my very first debut is unbelievable. That's a fond memory that I have. North Queensland Cowboys, the fact that when I was at school, they said I'd never played it. And then 7 years after my journey began, I came back and played, and then 2 years later, represented the team in a grand final, probably the greatest team so far. I wish them all the very best, but until that's accomplished, you know, we are one of the strongest teams that have been there. So, but even saying that, putting on a Northern Pride jersey has been fantastic. To come back and, you know, be straight across the road from where I went to school at St. Augustine's and have those young boys come over and go, do you know what, that's what I could do. That's my dream there. To actually help those young fellas aspire to that's unbelievable. So.
What about the highlights still to come? You've got this season ahead of you. The Pride struggling at the moment on the field. Do you see that turning around?
Absolutely. You know, rugby league's one of those funny games. It's you win as many as you lose, and you have to lose some to win some. It's a funny thing. We're in a little bit of a spot at the moment. It's not a blind, it's not a hole. It's just we need to get our head right. You know, 2010, perfect example of it. We can run through and get to the semis, and you never know what can happen. So I think 2012 has a little bit more promise yet.
Fantastic, mate. Now, off the field at the moment, you're working for the club's Take Pride program, delivering our Learner Legend program. How's that going?
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, the one thing about the club is it's not one-dimensional. We really do have a lot of strong arm in the community, and a lot of people are seeing that we're doing great things. I think that the program that I'm being involved in as the only non-NRL team or high-profile team is fantastic. That people at a high level are starting to look and take notice of what this small club is doing. We're really making a footprint there. To be able to transition year 12 students from high school and mentor them in their first 6 months of employment, unbelievable. I really do think it's going to be one of those programs that will continue on and will have lifeblood after the funding program finishes.
Sweet. Well, thanks for your time today, mate. I'm sure everyone watching at home has enjoyed learning a bit more about you and what makes you tick. Mate, look forward to seeing you out there in a Pride jersey again.
Fantastic.